Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to share something exciting with you. It's about the truth. Actually, the healing power of the truth. It so often gets underestimated, but actually the truth is the key element which starts a healing process inside. Very often it's really the most pivotal aspect, allowing an inner healing to happen. So every time when I'm giving someone a session, when I'm regressing someone back to a root cause of the struggle they are dealing with, they're going back to a story. They're going back to an experience, and very often more of them. So there's very often a pattern. But this means there's something about this experience that needs to be looked at. And very often it is a denial of the truth. We were not allowed to fully see it. We were not allowed to fully experience it, to process it, because it was kind of dangerous. The surrounding did not like it. They sort of could not deal with it. And we had to shut it down. So we had to sort of suppress it. But by that, it's something that is still within our system, in our energy field that we are carrying around, and it is a weight. It takes energy. So we are usually sort of living with our blinders and moving forwards just to function in our everyday life. But then we don't understand why we are struggling so hard. Yet when we look at the root cause, when we are meeting the truth, it has 5 elements that makes it so powerful. And the very first is that we are gaining a clarity, an uncomparable clarity. It's a matter of fact clarity that makes you realize, like really like a detective, all things fall into place and it all of a sudden is so logical, makes so much sense. And you notice, okay, I now see why I was struggling with it. And by that, you also understand yourself a bit better, because you notice, okay, the way I was struggling, there's a story to it. And let me share an example there. This wonderful lady came to me and she wanted to explore her sensation within the throat chakra. She was noticing there was a tightness. So she wanted to find out what was going on there. We were asking the part that was creating this tension why it was there. And of course, it was a protective part. And it mentioned she cannot speak the truth, she cannot express it because it's too dangerous. There's no environment where it feels safe. So we were asking, so what is it about? What is she not allowed to speak out about? And it was mainly about her second marriage, where she felt it was actually a failure. Everybody from the outside adored her husband. He was a very, very respected person, but she did not feel the same way within her marriage. And so she could not share her experience with anyone because they simply didn't believe her. And so it had to be suppressed, it had to be stuffed down. And by that, she noticed it within her own system. It was creating this blockage. So when she had this clarity, then she realized, okay, I'm actually paying a high price for keeping my mouth shut. This doesn't mean that we have to just spill out the truth. No, but it means that we have to acknowledge it. We have to see it ourselves and validate it ourselves. And that's the next point, the next element that's coming in, the validation. When we are seeing the truth for what it is, we are not only validating our own history, our own experience, but by that, our own self. Because we now see, okay, we could not handle the situation differently then. But now we have the power, and now we can really acknowledge what was going on there. We can validate it, and we can validate our own process. The next element that's coming in is an empowerment, and that's coming with clarity and the validation that you notice, okay, the experience from the past does not define me. I'm not bound by it any longer. I can lift off that weight because now I can deal with it differently. I can create something differently now. I'm not in that position from then any longer. And with that empowerment, there's also this self consciousness that is growing, that you can handle challenges. You have the capacity to deal with them. The next aspect that's so beautiful when you are facing the truth, when you are meeting the truth, is this liberating sensation. You feel that you are being freed by this weight. You are lifting it off. You are being freed by the truth, like the saying, the truth will set you free. Because you don't have to live by half lies any longer. You don't have to sort of walk around with blinders. So this liberating moment is very beautiful to experience. And the fifth element, which is actually really beautiful, is that you are gaining connection, and not so much forcibly with the outside, but with your inside. This connecting to your inside is very powerful, because you all of a sudden find the peace within your own soul, within your own self, and you notice something about yourself. It's a self-understanding that is allowing you to really be patient, be more gentle with yourself. This is actually, to me, very mind-blowing when I look at how many facets it brings into the healing process when you look at the truth. So you notice that truth itself has its own vibration. You're gonna feel that. It's something that's touching you differently. It's really connecting to your soul in a different way. And of course, maybe there are protective mechanisms setting in place, which could be fear, prejudice, ignorance, avoidance, whatever. But this does not take away from the truth. The truth will stay the truth. It stands on its own 2 feet. And this is really always so beautiful to watch, when you notice that simply gaining an awareness of the inner story is already setting someone on the path to experience such a tremendous healing inside. And by that, it's very often that we notice that there are other doors that we can walk through. We can walk other paths. We don't have to go the old habitual way that is so familiar to us but doesn't make us happy. So that's just what I wanted to share with you. I hope you found this interesting. Let me know in the comments down below what your insights are about the healing power of the truth. And otherwise, I'm happy to seeing you next time. Take good care, and goodbye for now.